So, all right, you guys, look, in this video, I'm going to cover why I'm pretty sure almost all the things that you grew up believing, were taught about success, business, your own personal development in life is complete and utter bullshit. Now, for some reason, you guys click on the video and listen better if I wear these sunglasses. Now there's bubbles popping up. I didn't even edit that to be in here. All right, but the point is that if you guys have ever heard the expression, don't count your chickens before they hatch, I want you to wake up from this bullshit lie right now. You have to count your chickens before they hatch. You have to. In fact, what you don't realize is all of the negative experiences that are coming to you in your business, in your personal life, in your relationships are all due to the fact of you counting those chickens before they hatch. And what do I mean by that? I'm going to break that down exactly in this video about why what you're believing is causing the issues you're having, right? And you guys have probably seen 8,453 videos like this, but you've never seen one by me. So let's listen, right? Usually when people are thinking something and they want something, whether it's more results in business, whether it's better relationships, better confidence, better energy when they're talking to other people, you have some form of a desire, right? We'll start with a D. And this is emotionally charged, right? It has a type of emotional energy to it. And when it has that type of energy, it's almost nearly impossible if you do not first count or plan or prepare the energy in a particular manner in which you desire. If you don't do that, you're going to get the opposite. You're going to get what you want. You're going to get the eggs that you counted, but you have to make sure you're counting them correctly. What do I mean? So on the opposite of desire, right, is what I like to call as a fear. Well, it's not just what I like to call, it's what it's called. Right? We get the fear. And the thing is fears often have a much stronger energetic force to them than our desires do. But this is only because the identity of who we are is rooted in this fear versus this desire. And the reason we do this, and the reason why I say don't count your chickens, or the reason why other people say that, is because when they think about the chickens that are metaphorically being talking about, or we can use the word chickens in exchange for goals, right? When you have these goals that you want to do, these things, these desires, if you count on your life being filled with desires, basically what this expression is saying is do not count on your life being filled with desires because it is more likely to be filled with fears. You're more likely to be filled with things that you didn't expect to happen if you expect them to happen in a certain way. Right? And I can honestly, wholeheartedly tell you that if you've ever spent any time looking up faith, looking up the Bible, looking up manifestation, and you believe genuinely that you are able to do these things, I can tell you this is the worst advice that has ever been given to the humankind ever. Because not accounting for and believing and first living internally that your desires have already been realized leaves you only one choice, which is to realize your fears, because one or the other is going to be internalized, right? You're either going to count on the fact that you will achieve the things that you're going to do and therefore take necessary action and inspired action out of that place, or you will take the internal belief that you won't, or that it's not possible, or that it's far-fetched, or that it's just a pipe dream, right? And operating a business or your life like this is literally deadly. So when people say don't count your chickens before they hatch, right, what they're doing is they don't even realize that they're placing a limitation on you. They're placing you to, when you're going through your life and you have something good that's about to come up and you have a big client that's about to, a great prospect that's a perfect lead. They have literally everything you could imagine. You can solve their problems. You're the only person meant to solve their problems. And yet, because you heard this expression when you were a kid and maybe even repeat it to your own kids, You go, hey, I shouldn't count on getting that sale before I get it. I shouldn't feel like I'm already successful before I am. Well, what should you feel like? Should you feel like lack? Should you prepare for failure? A lot of people will tell you, and they mean well, right? This isn't from malice. They mean well. They say, if you don't go for plan A, right? Sometimes that won't work out, Chipper. Sometimes you won't make it, right? When they say that to you, they say, you need a plan B. You got to have one. You have to. But the problem is that either the desire or the fear is going to gravitate to reality. There really is only one plan because only one thing plays out at a time. So if you have two plans, whichever stronger magnetic force you have, either in the desires or the fears, whichever one you internalize more is what's going to be your plan A. Right? There's literally thousands, if not millions of videos, books, seminars, people teaching the same thing. I'm not the person who made this up, guys. This is in the book, okay? They put this in the Bible, right? They put the how you can have it. Believe that you have received something and you shall receive it, right? It's in there. You guys don't have to argue with old rich Uncle Arias, okay? I'm not the one to complain to. Again, if you guys want this reality, if you want plan A, then you have to first charge up your desire. And how do you charge up your desire? Well, that's by counting your chickens before they hatch. That's by asking yourself, what do I really want to happen? And not only do I want to happen, saying once you identify what it is that the desire is, how do you expand the feeling? How do you make it larger? How do you make it more real? How do you make it feel more like it's already here? How do you do that? Well, you set the foundation of who you are in your desires. You don't set it in your fears. You tell yourself, I am. The I am is the savior. The I am is the magic power, right? The master key, the awareness to getting out of the situations you're in right now. I can promise you guys, look, you want to know how this is the truth, right? So many of you guys maybe have been watching and maybe you're like me in the past and you go between this line of learning business tactics and learning about manifesting it. How do I detach from my results, but I also want to learn the newest thing? And maybe it's the DM funnel, maybe it's the school groups, maybe it's the low ticket, maybe it's the high ticket. Like, what do I do? How do I achieve wealth? But then you also understand that this manifesting is real, whether you've had actual results, whether you've had actual failures, or you've seen other people do these things, or you've been researching it for a long time, or you've been trying. But until you genuinely identify what you want, and then charge it with the necessary emotions. And to charge it, you have to say that it's already done. You have to have such a foundation that you are the I am and that everything is possible to you. So that way the logical mind, the ego shuts up and it gets quiet. Right? When you do that and you begin to count things that you want to happen before they happen, you begin to count on them happening. And you go to sleep and you believe that you are already the person who's achieved that. And there's all types of different techniques. I'm not here to teach you guys that. It doesn't matter. The point is if you believe this is what will change everything for you. When you charge your desire with an unshakable belief, it begins to grow like this. And the charge gets bigger and gets bigger and gets bigger until the point where it eats up the fear. And the ego has no place. And when this happens, plan A has no choice but to materialize. Right? Now, listen, I'm not the guy who says, just listen to me. I got all the answers. You know, one of my first mentors was Jim Rohn. He said, you should be a student, not a follower. Okay? Take what I say, decide what you like, throw out the parts that you don't, and keep the rest. You should do that with everything. I don't want you guys to go off a blind faith of my word that this works. What I want you to do is to do it. I want you to go for 1 second. I want you to imagine what your life is like if it was actually the way you want it to be. If it actually went the way if you were that person, if you knew you couldn't fail, if you knew you were unbeatable, if you knew that nothing could break you, how would you show up? How would you talk? How would you act? Would you care? Would you be attached to results? No, because it's already done. Doesn't even matter. Right? And so This is how you make plan A happen. The only way to get the chicken is to plan on its arrival. So throw away with what they have to say. And if you guys want to test this out for yourself, look, do this for 24 hours, okay? Anytime you want something, say, no, I'm the only one who can do this. God handles my problems now. You're in there. There's nothing else to do. Feel it. Understand that that's the truth. Return to plan A. And if you need support because you just feel like things going on and the people in your life aren't there, and anytime you try to level up and get out of this and to focus on your desires, you are faced with nothing but fears, and you need a community and a mentor to guide you through that. You can look and learn the diamond method below or book a call to work with me one-on-one. I hope you guys unlock and understand you have to count your chickens before they hatch. It's the only way to get them. Peace, love, and prosperity. I'll see you on the next one.